Eu vou tentar captar um instante já, que de tão fugitivo não é mais, porque tornou-se um novo instante. Cada coisa tem um instante em que ela é. Eu quero apossar-me do da coisa. Eu tenho um pouco de medo ainda de me entregar, pois o próximo instante é desconhecido.
Eu não entendo. Isso é tão vasto que ultrapassa qualquer entender. Entender é sempre limitado, mas não entender pode não ter fronteiras. Eu sinto que sou muito mais completa quando não entendo. Não entender do modo como falo é um dom. Não entender, mas não como um simples estado de espírito. Bom é ser inteligente e não entender. É uma bênção estranha, como ter loucura sem ser doido. É um desinteresse manso, uma doçura de burrice. Só que de vez em quando vem a inquietação. Eu quero entender um pouco, não demais, mas pelo menos entender que eu não entendo.
As a mystic, you see how things change first in the inner. There is a law that everything that happens in life first constellates on the inner planes. For example, this movie you are doing first constellated as an idea inwardly. It was given to you as an idea. It came from somewhere within.
God is make-believe. God is fairy tales for adults. God is a belief system that is not credible, has no evidence. God is just something that is made up so that people can deny the truth of death.
Well, I don't want to sound so eccentric, but to be very, very honest with you, again, I have to realize that Jesus Christ is life. In St. John, the 14th chapter, he stated in the verse 6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father except by me. There is no sort of God.
This is the only way.
I grew up Catholic, and if my school sees this, I'm fired because I teach in a Catholic school, but I don't believe in God per se. I believe in the kind of beautiful goodness.
Joke that the theologians tell, where little Johnny is asked by the preacher, Johnny, do you know the meaning of faith? Do you know what faith is? And he says, sure I do, preacher. He said, what is it? He says, faith is believing what you know ain't true.
Describe God? Oh. Describe God.
Describe God you can't. It is a ludicrous question.
Good meaning of God, when people mean, when they say God is love, like in the Christian scriptures, or when the Muslims say Allah Rahman, God the merciful. If they mean by that sort of the power of love is the power of the universe, that isn't necessarily a person, doesn't have a plan, and also love doesn't necessarily control the beloved. It just wishes for the happiness of the beloved. So it's sort of a happiness energy that wishes for beings to be happy. If God is defined that way, then there's no question any religious person of any kind, whether they're theistic or monotheistic or not, they would agree with that definition. The personal definition, like the angry God, the God of this tribe, that sort of thing, those things are a little bit problematic from an enlightened point of view.
The great mystics of all the great world religions, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, none of them are afraid of God. Huh?
God is not a person. It's not some sort of character who sits in a chair or something.
God is certainly not a dead white male in the sky.
It's not like some big old white dude sitting up there on a diamond gem throne, you know, with a long beard, you know, looking, you know, all elegant and snooty and looking down on people.
When you say describe God, you have a firm assumption that there is somebody sitting up there. This assumption has created enormous pain and suffering to human beings on this planet. So if there is something called creator, if there is a force or a person or a thing which is creating all this, where can it be?
See, he listens. The creator is everywhere, just like I said.
The Muslims say that God is closer than your jugular.
He is closer to us than this vein here.
And God is certainly closer to me than my jugular vein.
He is closer to us than our hearts.
And God is to be found in the heart of every living entity, as well as in all the atoms.
Smaller than the smallest. One could say smaller than an atom or an electron, and greater than the greatest, greater than the whole universe, is the divine reality.
That God is in everything, everything is God, everything is a part of God.
We call the Wuchi, the nothingness, the center of the universe. So in the Taoism, we don't give them a name of God.
Tell them that God is not out there.
God is beyond even our idea of the beyond.
You can't describe it, you can only feel it.
The real goal is something much more amazing, you know? It's much more fantastic.
It's 100% a fact that we are all one. Look, if you went to the moon and you looked from the moon at the Earth, you would see one Earth. You wouldn't see white people, black people, red people, monkeys, ants, flowers, bees, water, air, rain, non-rain, desert. You wouldn't see all of this. You would see one Earth. Ontological, estological, beyond energy, beyond light, beyond sound, beyond perception, beyond mind. We are all one.
And oneness became more intense.
But just imagine for a moment that you looked around the room right now, wherever you're sitting, and you saw that that vase of flowers, that window, that microphone, that camera, it's like looking at yourself. And how you would feel about those things and those people if you knew for a moment with great certainty that that was true. And I think the answer is right there.
And oneness became more inclusive.
And so We Are One is an exploration of discovering that the oneness is paradoxically, in the multiplicity, plurality.
Despite the fact that we have a lot of differences in terms of ethnicities
and nationalities and different traditions, and
in terms of our geographical location.
The Israelis and the Palestinians.
Bosnia, Chechnya, Pakistan,
Iraq, and
we are American, we are Dutch, we are German.
Jews and the Palestinians, the Christians and Muslim, Arabs.
Buddhist, a Hindu, a Jew, a Muslim, an animist, an atheist.
East, west, north, south, up and down.
All people. There are hundreds of languages, probably hundreds of races that exist in our world today.
The fact remains that we are all one.
We are all one.
We are one.
نحن كلنا موحدون.
And oneness became more internal.
Ask yourself, who am I? What do I want? And if you go really deep into this, who am I? Very deep into this, you'll realize you're not your body, you're not the mind, you're not even your personality. You're the infinite being.
And oneness became richer and more beautiful than we could have ever imagined.
We are all unique. Each one of us different. And it's so wonderful that we're different. We may spring from the same oneness of our interiority. But as human beings, as individuals, every one of us is unique. We are different. That's what is beautiful about us. So at least let's enjoy the difference. If you learn to enjoy the difference, if you see that every human being is a unique human being, only once in the whole eternity, only once this kind of human being happens. You cannot find exactly this kind of human being anywhere else in the existence at any time in eternity. Only once. That is true with yourself, with your friend, with your enemy, with your loved ones and the ones you hate. All of them are absolutely unique. Anything that you see as unique, you value it. Anything that you value, you will have no problems with it. And oneness will happen out of that. If you begin to enjoy the uniqueness of life, oneness will happen out of that.
No meio-dia de fim de primavera, eu tive um sonho como uma fotografia. Eu vi Jesus Cristo descer à terra. Ele veio pela encosta de um monte, mas era outra vez menino, a correr e a rolar-se pela erva, a arrancar flores para deitar fora e a rir de modo a ouvir-se de longe. Ele tinha fugido do céu. Era nosso demais para fingir de segunda pessoa da Trindade. Um dia que Deus estava dormindo e o Espírito Santo andava a voar, ele foi até a caixa dos milagres e roubou 3. Com o primeiro ele fez com que ninguém soubesse que ele tinha fugido. Com o segundo ele se criou eternamente humano e menino. E com o terceiro ele criou um Cristo eternamente na cruz e deixou-o pregado na cruz que é no céu e serve de modelo às outras. Depois ele fugiu para o sol e desceu pelo primeiro raio que apanhou. Hoje ele vive na minha aldeia comigo. É uma criança bonita, é de riso natural, limpa o nariz com o braço direito, chapinha nas poças d'água, colhe as flores, gosta delas, esquece, atira pedra aos burros, colhe as frutas nos pomares e foge a chorar e a gritar dos cães. Só porque sabe que elas não gostam que toda a gente acha graça, ele corre atrás das raparigas que levam as bilhas na cabeça e levanta-lhes a saia. A mim, ele me ensinou tudo. Ele me ensinou a olhar para as coisas. Ele me aponta todas as cores que há nas flores e me mostra como as pedras são engraçadas quando a gente as tem na mão e olha devagar para elas. Damos-nos tão bem um com o outro na companhia de tudo que nunca pensamos um no outro. Vivemos juntos os dois com um acordo íntimo, como a mão direita e a esquerda. Ao anoitecer nós brincamos as 5 pedrinhas no degrau da porta de casa, graves, como convém a um Deus e a um poeta. Como se cada pedra fosse todo o universo e fosse por isso um perigo muito grande deixá-la cair no chão. Depois eu lhe conto histórias das coisas só dos homens. E ele sorri, porque tudo é incrível. Ele ri dos reis e dos que não são reis. E tem pena de ouvir falar das guerras e dos comércios. Depois ele adormece e eu o levo no colo para dentro da minha casa, deito-o na minha cama, despindo-o lentamente, como seguindo um ritual todo humano e todo materno, até ele estar nu. Ele dorme dentro da minha alma. Às vezes ele acorda de noite, brinca com meus sonhos, vira uns de perna para o ar, põe uns por cima dos outros e bate palmas sozinho, sorrindo para o meu sono. Quando eu morrer, filhinho, seja eu a criança ou mais pequeno, pega-me tu ao colo e leva-me para dentro da tua casa. Deita-me na tua cama, despe o meu ser, cansado e humano. Conta-me histórias caso eu acorde para eu tornar a adormecer. E dá-me sonhos teus para eu brincar.
sol se retirou, fazendo cair toda a chuva que há. Oh, Senhor, pedi pro sol se esconder um pouquinho, pedi pra chover, mas chover de mansinho, pra ver se nascia uma planta no chão. Oh, meu Deus, se eu não rezei direito, a culpa é do sujeito, desse pobre que nem sabe fazer a oração. Meu Deus, perdoa encher meus olhos d'água e ter lhe pedido cheio de mágoa, pro sol inclemente se retirar. Desculpe, pedir a toda hora, pra chegar o inverno e agora o inferno queima o meu humilde Ceará. Ó Senhor, pedi pro sol se esconder um pouquinho, pedi pra chover, mas chover de mansinho, pra ver se nascia uma planta no chão. Ganância demais, chuva não tem mais, roubo demais, política demais, tristeza demais, interesse tem demais. Ganância demais, fome demais, falta demais, promessa demais, seca demais, chuva não tem mais.